Chantel. Yeah, I do need a new lighter actually. That old Zippo's about worn out. Congratulations, you're a moderator. You've been around long enough. What's going on, Colvic? You were already a moderator, Cole. I decided against doing one of these today because I didn't freaking feel like it, but I saw this and wanted to get it documented. I don't know if the camera is picking it up or not, but you can see the rain's coming down out that way. Oops. Come on now. Hope I'm not making you all seasick. Still won't shrink. Come on. There we go. What's going on, Christy? Had to inform the youngsters that a water heater can refine drugs. Ah, well, yeah. Hello, Tisha. When is it? When is what? This is right now. Sunrise in Indiana. Oh, yeah, Christy. Hell, hell did break loose. A few people sent me the link to Scotty's channel. It's got, I very recently even heard of Scotty. He came up on my panel a few days ago. And next thing I know, old Vic's up there. If you haven't seen that, you should go watch it. And it's thoroughly disgusting. I will never look at butt juice the same. I'll tell you that. What's going on, Rob? Yeah, I saw that too. Good morning, Jeff Elliott. Jersey is a good dude. He always has been, and I do feel bad for him. He is actually the reason I opened a Cash App. I guess I had one open, I just didn't remember. It just wasn't activated yet. Because he was talking about having a like I've been killing animals my whole life. Hunting, farming. You know, either for food or because it's necessities, whatever. But uh, and I'm not a cat guy. I'm really not. But there was something about little fucker, and I was talking about. Oh, there's a dragon up there. I was talking about feeling like a bitch because there was this little black kitty that needed put down, and I was having a hard time talking myself into it because he gave me fives. And y'all see the dragon? And Jersey and I think three other people all hit me up. They're like, "Hey, uh, we're sending you money." I'm like, "No, you're not. I've got no way for you to send me money. Like, it just wasn't possible unless you were going to put cash in the mail, and I wasn't. I wasn't gonna give anybody my address for that." But they were pretty insistent, so I opened the Cash App, and Jersey said that cat will never need to uh, worry about money. But I never uh, I never asked him for another dime. I wouldn't have felt right about it. I've never gone into anybody's DMs and asked them for money. I couldn't. Like, even yeah, I do my cocaine, my bullshit cocaine dono streams, whatever. But usually that's just to piss people off. And just between you and me and the internet, some of it did go to drugs, but most of it not. Um, yeah, but I just wouldn't have the. If I had a flat tire, if I was starving to death, you guys would never know it. What's going on, panel channel? Rip fire. Yeah, I saw. I was in. I'm not subbed to Fireside anyway, but I was watching it on what's his name, Big Moose's channel. Yeah, Mr. Free Speech put a stop to that. I guess he didn't like truth, apparently. Yeah, I couldn't. All I had was a phone, so I couldn't. I couldn't see what was going on in Brian's chat. I was, just seeing people talk about it on Big Moose's, but it sounded like a bloodbath. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna set you up on the stand so not as shaky. Besides, I gotta get my Stanley thermos out because I have a Stanley, and it's a Stanley. That I didn't pay $70 for. And makes coffee. Unfortunately, I don't have the stuff with me to make coffee with, but oh, come on. I'll get my shit together in a second. Actually, no, I won't. Hold on. I'll be right with you. But yeah, I think it's interesting how people will be about something, you know. How should I word this? They'll stand for a cause until it doesn't fit their narrative. Then all of a sudden it's gone. Look, guys, I got a Stanley. Damn, panel channel, you lost your wrench. Wow. You were calling out all the. Oh, I would bet that Ryan probably had a spy in Big Moose's and probably was ratting you out, panel channel. Would be my guess. What's up, Jeff? Sea Monkey Jeff, actually. I want to make sure that nobody thinks it's the other one. That motherfucker's banned from here. I've never said I was a free speech channel. I don't have to give anybody a place to talk. You're in my house now, motherfuckers. If I don't like you, bye-bye. I don't need your view that bad. Stanley's a thermos. Yeah, mine's a thermos. But I've been using Stanley products. You can't even see the name on here. Hold on. I've been using Stanley products my whole life, and then all of a sudden, somehow, some way, they got popular with so-called influencers. So these people are spending $70 for these giant freaking mugs that are really too big to do anything practical with. And yeah. But Stanley saw them coming, and they jacked the prices up. Business move, can't really say. As long as they don't jack up the prices of the, and maybe they did, I don't know. Thing about Stanley's is, at least the older ones, last forever. So unless you lose them or they're stolen, or you really just pound the crap out of them, you never have to replace them. Yeah, it's the same Stanley that makes tools. I've got Stanley tape measures from 30 years ago that are still intact. I've had to replace the the tape part itself because those get scratched up so bad you can't read them. But yeah, the 12-footer that they gave me when I first started, when I was a steel worker, I spent 20 years there, and it was so scratched up you couldn't read the brand name on it anymore, but it still works. Yeah, panel channel. They've been making stuff. I don't know, what year they started or anything like that, but yeah, my granddad. I would actually like to know who has his lunchbox, but yeah, the stuff lasts forever. At least the older stuff does. I hear that they're making more junk in China or wherever now, but yeah, it's high quality. At least the old stuff was. AI Jeff, we're still waiting on that. Waiting on your boy's new album to drop. If anybody wants to, well, there's not really. I mean, yeah, feel free to drop their band link at any time. There's also somebody else in the community. His name is With Ghost. He also makes some cool stuff that I like. Morning, Susan. You lived in Connecticut. Where do you, if you mind saying, I don't want you to dox yourself, Jeff Elliott, but whereabouts do you live now? If you don't want to say, that's fine. What the hell was that noise? Oh, please don't be anything that's gonna try to eat me. I don't feel like putting up with gunshots today. Texas, eh? You fell in love with a woman? Oh man, I can tell this story's gonna end badly. We'll do it for him though, won't we? Off to work. It's a Sunday, right? I mean, Jeff, I realize that you're your own boss and everything, but those passes I gave out to everybody, where you're all allowed a day off, and all you got to do is tell your boss, and you can drop my name if you need to. If you need me to talk to him, I will. But that applies to bosses too. What's up, Jenny? How you doing? Come back to bed. I wish it was that easy. Hey, Jeff Elliott, if she's worth it, man, then um, I hope it works out for you. Yeah, where did I see that at? I wasn't on Big Moose's, I don't think, at the time. I was kind of bouncing in and out of there because something else was going on in the real world. Oh man, didn't somebody repost Alex going up there? Damone maybe? the panel channel, maybe? I don't know. Somebody. I saw part of it later, but I got distracted from that too. But Alex didn't sound real happy. It was the panel channel where I saw it, yeah. There is no real world. Well, I mean, I've been, don't tell anybody, but I'm kind of a nerd with some things, but that Hadron Collider, the particle collider, like they pretty much proven that there are dimensions that we are not accustomed to. Starting to think that whole simulation thing might not be bullshit. And if you check out what they're doing with quantum computers and stuff like that, it's wild. And they have AI girlfriends. Now, people are already so fucking isolated from other people, except for online. I mean, really, there could be people in the community that are AI. I'm not saying there is, but it's very possible, and it's to the point now where you can't tell the real from the fake. I might be AI. You guys don't really know, do you? I might not even know. I could be. But they've got AI girlfriends now. These fucking oh man, simps will never have to communicate with another human being now. AI girlfriends could potentially put OnlyFans out of business. That's not an exaggeration. Well, congratulations, Jeff Elliott. I hope it works out for you. I really do, even though I don't know you. How long you been with her? I hope you say more than 6 months, because if not, I'm gonna chew your ass out. First 6 months, a year, however long, always pretty great. Oh, honey, you take the last piece of pizza. I'm not hungry anymore. You can have it. A year later, you're like, you touch that, I'm gonna fucking kill you. You met her on TikTok. Oh, well, you know what, dude? Uh, if you're happy with her, I'll keep my mouth shut about meeting on fucking TikTok. You're sure she's real though, right? She's not AI? Like, she didn't arrive in 5 to 7 business days in a plain brown wrapper? Nothing like that? Oh shit. All right, Jeff. We're the same age. Almost, well, roughly the same age. So, you've been around the block. You know what you're doing. I digress. because that was my next question. First marriage, they say, is for love. Second, for I've never actually been married. I was with my son's mom for 15 years and my daughter's mom for 5. Um, I was engaged to my son's mom pretty much the whole time, but we just never got around to actually getting it done. Actually, maybe I was only with my daughter's mother for 4 or 5 years. Yeah. Yeah, just don't run off and marry anybody. 2 years. That's good. A while. But I always suggest living with people before you get married. Don't ask me how I can comment on that because I've never been married, but I have lived with people for long periods of time, and you don't really know a person, and they don't really know you until you live together for a while. There, the sun's actually starting to peek through, just to the right of the first windmill. Imagine a world where every moment is as beautiful as the sunrise. Jeff, you ought to write for fucking Hallmark, man. Yeah, imagine it, but I see why that lady fell in love with you now. I'm not even gay and I'm starting to fall for you. She kept you sober. Hey, that's a definite plus. It was I wasn't a drug guy, believe it or not. Well, you don't know me, but most of the rest of the people in here do. I was not a drug guy when I first got with my daughter's mom, and wouldn't have been her daughter's mom. I was never a drug guy the whole time I was with her. My son's mother, um, then I got hurt and started having to go to doctors, and they were shoveling OxyContin in my direction. I mean, like massive amounts. And I did fine for 2 years on Vicodin. I didn't get hooked on that stuff. And I went to a different doctor, and he's like, "Oh, this Tylenol that's in the Vicodin, it's gonna blow your liver out, whatever." Okay. And then doctors would tell you, "Hey, no, that's." I questioned it. I'm like, "Hey, Percocets. I know a lot of people struggling on Percocets, and that's the same shit as OxyContin, just time released. Doesn't have the Tylenol, but it's got a whole lot more of the actual narcotic in it. So how is this not as addictive?" Didn't make any sense. Oh, it's time release, so blah, 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 blah. And I knew they were full of shit. And I didn't listen to that little voice inside. Yeah, But yeah, my allowing myself to ingest bigger and bigger amounts of it is what ended that relationship. What's going on, Anthony? Tommy is a narcissist indeed. So is everybody still up like I am, or are you getting up early? I mean, my son's mother really was very patient with me, but people can only take so much. She gave me more chances than I deserved, more chances than I would have gave me. I can tell you that. But she said, "I still love you, but I can't sit around here and watch you killing yourself every day. So I'm leaving." Well, okay. I didn't like it, but I didn't blame her either. And then it was about a year before she um, saved up enough money to leave. I told her to stop paying. We had the house payment split up in half, and I told her to just stop paying it. And that let her save up enough to get out on her own. Oh, you've been divorced 4 months. Chantel, I've been pretty much throwing myself at you for like at least a year. I mean, I even gave you a wrench. Slept for a whole 2 hours. Yeah, I know how that goes. What are you laughing at, Chantel? A wrench is worth more than a engagement ring around here. You know that. In fact, a wrench is the same thing as an engagement ring. When you actually get married, then you move on to the big wrench, which is why nobody on my channel has a big wrench. I know this shit's gonna get clipped. In fact, that's probably why the panel channel went silent all of a sudden. She's like, I'm gonna get this shit down right now. How do I feel about Vic being a power top and so open about it? Well, um, I don't give a shit that he's a power top. Uh, I think we all could have guessed that Chomez was a power bottom. But I don't care if somebody's gay. In my opinion, it's better that they live out in the open. Why hide? Why hide who you are? If I was gay, I'd be out there just sucking all the dick that I could, man. I mean, why hide it? If you hide it, you know, there could potentially be another gay man out there that might have been good for you, but no, you had to go and hide it. You missed opportunities. I mean, think about how awesome it would be to be bisexual. To walk into any bar and just look around and go, oh yeah. You know what I mean? And these assless chaps I have would come in handy too. Shit, I'm staring at the sun again. You guys got to remind me to stop doing that. Jenny T, I bet you would take the big wrench. Is that a metaphor? You think YouTube relationships are out of the question? Yeah, I agree. I joke around about it a lot, but I mean, I've met with people that never anybody I met because of my channel. Everybody that I've met, I knew not because of my channel. And sometimes, like people not from the community, they take shit that I say, like on shorts and stuff, a little bit too seriously, which is part of the reason why I took my Instagram out of my bio, because I was meeting some fucking weirdos. Not meeting them in person, meeting them, I mean just, yeah. Yeah, panel channel, it's not for the faint of heart. That's right. Chantel only got a wrench because she sent me feet pics. I wasn't going to say anything, Chantel, but I guess, you know. All right, Susan, take it easy. I've also never sent a dick pic. That's something else that people believe that I say. But no, I've never sent, let me put it, I've never sent a dick pic to anybody that hasn't had my dick in their mouth already. I'll put it to you that way. Yeah, Instagram has been showing some. I don't. They must have lowered their standards or what. Like, well, I mean, I lowered my standards too. Um, yeah, when all else fails, just lower your standards. But oh man, I felt like a real asshole because there's an Instagram called Punching Preds or Punching Pedos. I don't forget what it's exactly called, but I was talking about it on a live stream, but I couldn't remember the name like right now. So I put a link up to it, and then a week later they got hacked or something, and they went from showing just, there's like a lot of DAP stuff on there, and man, I gotta stop staring at the sun. This sucks. Now they're showing like softcore porn. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, Instagram's showing a lot of that kind of thing on there now. I mean, which I mean doesn't offend me, but it's not what I'm looking for on there. And things like with people getting killed and stuff, which also doesn't offend me, but um, when you're looking for one thing and all of a sudden a video pops up of a guy burning to death in his semi truck and his dad that was driving right behind him desperately trying to get him out. I mean, some people can't handle that kind of thing. And like there's no warning. You just scroll through and it pops up. And then yeah, I still got to get back at Danielle because she sends me squirrel videos. And when somebody sends you, after a certain point, when somebody sends you a bunch of squirrel shit, that algorithm picks it up, and that's all you get is fucking squirrel videos. You also got to be careful in some places, even if you have a bullshit YouTube channel like mine, um, and like you meet somebody off there and hook up with them, whatever. If somebody wanted to press the issue, it does not matter how old, even if they're older than you. There still could be an argument made for a position of power. Um, I don't know that it's ever happened, but like it could be a thing if somebody really wanted to press the issue. Got my Stanley. Check it out, guys. Stanley. Stanley for men. There, I just wanted to flex on my Stanley that I've had for probably 12, 15 years. Don't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but it wasn't no fucking $70, I can tell you that. Well, Jeff Elliott, that's more than Indiana signs say. They're like, "Welcome to Indiana. We got nothing. We got nothing except fucking cornfields." All right, guys. I don't know why the sun bothering my eyes so bad. I don't know if I have a migraine coming on. Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna walk the other way. thought we were going to get a storm, which maybe we still will, but that might come later. Actually, while we're here, I'm going to check and see if I have any sap ready to go. This is one of the trees that I collect medicinal sap from. I'm picky about where I get that particular sap. Ow, fuck me running. This is my happy place. Oh yeah. We got some good ones going. You stupid ant, you're gonna get stuck in there, and in 5 million years, somebody's gonna find you in amber. Oh yeah, we got some good sap going. I'll have to come back out here later today, harvest some. Got some good crystals for incense too. If y'all put the stuff over an oil burner, like for the tea light candles, there's different ways to do it, but if you melt this stuff, Native Americans used to do it to relax. It's like a Native American Xanax. Now, for the longest time, I always thought that it was, just all in people's heads or a wives' tale, but research has shown that, like, it's a real thing. It actually does help you. I mean, it's not as strong as Xanax, but it does work. I'm lost. Get some aloe too. Well, you fuckers are off spending your money at drugstores. I'm out here getting stuff for free. What's going on, Richard B? Yeah, Jeff Elliott. The terpenes, there's other compounds in there too, but yeah, if you burn the sap and inhale the smoke, you don't want to sit directly over it, because this is the same stuff that they make turpentine out of, which isn't good for you. But yeah, if you stay close to it, you don't want to inhale a direct stream of black smoke, but yeah, it does. It activates, kind of like your brain has cannabinoid receptors and things like that. It works on receptors. What the hell's been on my sweet corn? Damn it. Probably no, not a deer. Probably a freaking raccoon. Yeah, Jeff, you can look it up. Like I said, for the whole time I was a kid, I thought, well, and it does smell good. I don't have any fat wood right here with me, but same thing. I know it sounds weird, but fat wood is where a lot of resin. I should have showed it to you when we were back there, but on a pine tree, like where there's a wound where it's damaged, you'll see a really reddish, a deep red color. And that's because it's saturated with resin. You can actually sniff that. I know it sounds weird, but it's not as good as burning it, but that works too. Or fat wood lights up real easily. It's a good fire starter, but you can burn the wood too, and that also works. But like I said, for a long time, I thought, and I was brought up around Native American stuff, right? And one of the guys that I looked up to a lot was full-blooded, and he taught me a lot of things. But I always thought that one particular thing was bullcrap. But somehow, thousands of years ago, people knew. I mean, it's kind of like with pot or tobacco or opium or anything. Thousands of years ago, people knew. Like of all of the millions of plants in the world, did they just dry stuff out, process it, crush it up, and smoke it? Like, did they do that to just stuff until they found one that got them high? Or did somehow our brains already know? Have I lived? Oh no, I'm from Indiana. I'm not from Jersey. Well, homeopathic isn't the same thing. A lot of homeopathic, in fact, homeopathic is not like that. A lot of that's a big scam too, because the principle of homeopathic, oh, here I go on a rant again, is where the less of something you take, the more it helps you. Oh man, it's hard. It's hard to explain it all, but most homeopathic stuff doesn't work. There's a guy. He's dead now, but his name was James Randi, and his thing was exposing magicians and mind readers and that kind of thing. But he also exposed the homeopathic thing. His demonstration was he took a whole bottle of whatever the homeopathic medicine was, He swallowed the whole bottle. But by their rationale, less is more and more is less. So he should have overdosed on the bottle. When if you, it's hard to explain. You just have to find that and watch it. But yes, he had he. I think that still exists. Somebody else is managing it now, of course. But yeah, he posted $1 million of his own money. That if somebody could prove mind reading and it could be replicated, they would win $1 million. But a lot of people tried, but nobody could claim it. What's going on, Miranda? You get your car fixed? But see, here's the thing: right around the turn of the century, like everybody used to get their medicine from plants. Um, pine sap is good for, like, if it's an antibiotic, it's an anti-inflammatory. If you have a cut and you put it on your cut, it will heal a lot faster than the crap that you buy at the store that's just made out of chemicals. There's You can make glue out of pine sap. There's hundreds of things you can do with it. But the thing is, at the turn of the century and a little bit after, especially like with names like DuPont, they had friends in Congress and stuff, and everybody just used to get their either go get it themselves or buy it at um, druggist or apothecary shops, and it was all natural stuff right off the plants. And then all of a sudden, and doctors would prescribe, or sell themselves. And then all of a sudden, they were starting to make doctors look crazy. Like they did. They went on a full scale campaign to make doctors look crazy that were prescribing things that have been used for thousands of years. And all of a sudden, nope, they're stupid, they're crazy, their stuff doesn't work. Try our new chemical stuff. I mean, aspirin is just willow bark. You can go. I got a willow tree 50 yards from us. You can get the inside of the willow bark, and that's what aspirin is made out of, except for the chemical stuff. It's going to take a lot of money to fix your car. Oh, timing chains aren't that much, but I don't know how much stuff you gotta. It depends on how much crap they gotta pull off. Some timing chains are really buried. And the whole, I mean, drugs are bad. I'm an addict. I'll be the first to tell you. In the wrong amounts, drugs are bad. Okay. Sometimes I act like they're not, but it's all bullshit. But the way drugs were illegalized was not about public health. There's a book. Actually, I think there's more than one book called. Oh fuck! I'm losing my train of thought. Reefer Madness. But the one I'm talking about, it's about the history of how drugs became illegal. It's real. It's very interesting. It wasn't about public health. It was about making money. and they didn't approach it from, I mean, they kind of did, but it was mostly based on racism. I mean, back in the 1800s when they started to illegalize opium, and you used to be able to go and buy morphine straight off the shelf. Stuff called laudanum, which I was born 150 years too late, but stuff called laudanum, it was a combination of alcohol, morphine, and hemp oil. Oh God, why I wouldn't get to try some of that. That's besides the point, but you could just go get the stuff. No prescription, nothing. Get as much as you wanted. But the real reason it became illegal was not about public health. They actually had billboards that said, Negroes smoke marijuana and grape white women. They put this on billboards. And like with pot, the people actually voted on it, but nobody called it marijuana back then. It was, people called it hemp. So when people were voting on it, they didn't even really know what they were voting on. And hemp was a cash crop. It was a big cash crop. But nylon was invented, and there wasn't really much of a use for it because, like in World War I, all of the rope was made out of hemp. I've got rope that belonged to my grandfather that's made out of hemp, and it's still in great shape. But they invented nylons, and there wasn't really a big need for it. So they're like, well, what can we get out of the way? So they got hemp out of the way. You had farmers voting to legalize their own crop because they didn't know what they were voting on. Yeah, I agree with that, Jeff Elliott. I do think that if you're an adult, you should be able to make up your own mind. Because the war on drugs isn't a war on drugs, it's a war on people. I mean, I have a real hard time. I've done a lot of stuff, you know. And again, I wasn't into drugs until the doctors got a hold of me. And once that happened, I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm a junkie anyway. I may as well do coke too. So I started doing coke. Never got addicted to coke. I sure as hell got addicted to painkillers though. But meth is one thing that I've always avoided, and like I have a real hard time just because any drug will destroy your life, but and alcohol will too, and it's legal. But meth, it just seems to do it extra fast. But when people know what they're getting and they know what measured dose that it's in, you wouldn't have as many overdoses. And instead of it being a shameful thing, I mean, now if you want to get a job, I was a high functioning addict for years. About let's see, I kept working for 7 years after I initially got put on narcotic painkillers, but the last 4 or 5, I was like a full-blown addict, but I was a high-functioning addict for a long time. So there is such a thing as high-functioning addicts, but if you try to get a job, almost every job wants you to take a drug test now, and if you flunk it, you can't work, which only causes people to commit more crimes to support their habits, you know? And if it wasn't such a walk of shame, more people would be willing to get help. Yeah, they did call cannabis marijuana to make it sound, because it's a Spanish word, a Mexican word, and they actually had billboards. You can check this out yourself, that said Negroes smoke marijuana and then go and sexually attack white women. uh, that was that was how they got people to support illegalizing it. Oh man, I don't know. And the same thing with oh gosh, I forget her name now. Jazz musician. Oh man, black female jazz musician. Her name will come to me now, but like one of the DAs really was after her just because she didn't conform, and they don't like black people having a voice back then. So they really came at her. What was her name? Oh shit. Anyway, Reefer Madness. There's more than one book named that, but the one that I'm talking about. Somebody remind me, I think I've got it packed away somewhere, because I had a shit ton of books when I moved, and I only kept some of them. But I know I kept that one. I'll find it and post some pictures of it. Or at a minimum, I'll look it up and see who the author was. What's up, Jenny? What the fuck happened to you? I thought you had a rent. Did you have a rent in here, Jenny? Or was that your old channel? I'm not through StreamYard, so I can give you one now. Wait, hold on. Is that the real Junie first? The Emperor wears no clothes. I'll have to check that out. Yes, it's you. That's what they all say. No, well, fuck it. That's like when somebody calls you up and they say, "Yeah, it's me." Really? I don't believe you. Prove it. In 2024, black people smoke weed and beautiful white women abuse your privates. Oh, hey, Jenny, good to see you. The part for your car is $174. Yeah, see, the parts aren't that much. It's just, it depends on how much crap you got to take off to get to it. I mean, timing chains are never easy, but some cars, you gotta practically take the whole front of the engine apart. I mean, okay, you kind of have to do that anyway, but sometimes you got a bunch of little crap that you have to take off that you don't on other cars. All right, y'all. I think one more cigarette and I'm done. I'm still up. I'm not up early. That's kind of pretty. Yeah, Jeff Elliott, that's true, but it's getting some places like AutoZone, they sell nothing but crap now. Um, I used to get most of my parts from Napa, and I haven't bought any car parts in a long time, but they were, even Napa was going to hell. I don't know if they still are or not, but I imagine they're all probably getting that way. Fix or repair daily. Yep, that is what Ford stands for. I'm not saying AutoZone is bad on everything, Cubana. I don't know about their timing chains and anymore. Really, it's going to cost you more. You said the one you're going to get is 174. They usually do have different like qualities of parts. Like you can get the cheap one or the more expensive one or the even more expensive one. Um, and I've not bought a timing chain in a very long time, so I don't even know what they're like now. But um, really, the for quality, the best thing you can do is get actual go to. You might have to go to a dealership, but to get the actual dealer part. The problem with that is sometimes dealerships won't sell you just the part. You gotta have there, which costs you even more money. But if you can find somebody that will sell you the actual dealer part for quality, that's the best way to go. But you kind of have to look at the overall, like how much longer is that vehicle going to last? It's not always worth it to put the best parts on. If it's only going to last another 50,000 miles anyway, it's not always the best to spend the most on the parts. I mean, I'm from a time where if your engine lasted you 100,000 miles, um, you were going to rebuild that engine, you know. But things are built a little different now. Like my S10 that I use for hauling wood, it just turned a quarter of a million miles and it's still running. But at one time or another, I've probably replaced every part on that engine except for the big stuff. Jeff, she doesn't know a whole lot about cars. I just been trying to help her from Indiana to Florida. Um, she sent me a recording. sent me a recording of what it sounded like, and I could tell it was something from like that area of the engine, but I've not been able to actually. It's hard to diagnose anything without actually looking at it. 4.0 and 5.7. See, I don't even know what year is that again, Miranda. I know you told me once, but I forgot. When it came to SUVs, I always had Blazers. The Vortec engines aren't bad, but the EGR valves. I don't think I ever had a Blazer that I didn't have to replace. Sometimes instead of replacing them, and they're real easy to change. They're right there on top. They're real easy to do, but um, sometimes you can get away with just cleaning them out, and they'll run for a while after that. But I always had pretty good luck with the Vortec engines and the Blazers. Just 6 cylinders, so it's 4.0 then, yeah. No, Cubana, control your temper. Don't be breaking shit because you're mad at other shit. I've done that. It gets expensive after a while. That's why I tell you not to drive it until you find out what it is, because driving on broken parts can cause more things to break. She already had somebody look at it, Jeff. She just doesn't know a whole lot about it. Yeah, I feel bad for her too. It's you don't realize how much you use your car and how convenient it is until you drive it, especially when you got little kids and stuff. All right, y'all. Anybody has any last words? Get them out now, because I'm gonna go try to sleep. Oh, I know you're upset, Miranda, but there's only so much you can do, you know. Pokeberries, something else that I make stuff out of. You smash the juice out of these and uh, make a dye. It'll stain fabric, wood. I make ink out of it. Pokeberries, they people at hardware stores or wherever they act like this shit is so fucking poisonous. You should wear gloves when you're like pulling them out or whatever, because it will stain up your hands really bad. Well, here I'll show you. But like they act like it's gonna fucking kill you or something. Here we go. These aren't quite ripe, so they're not really staining me up too bad. But yeah, you make ink and dye and all kinds of crap. Now, do not eat these. Do not just pick them off and eat them. You can use these as there's a bunch of different kinds of medicines you can make out of these. But I have people that I supply these to that, um, and there's only a handful of people that I will give anything. Like I'll make salve or whatever for anybody for external use, but um, anything taken internally, I will only give to a handful of people because um, these things, people swear by it for rheumatoid arthritis. They say it works better than the crap that doctors give them. Now, you can swallow these as long as you swallow them whole and, and never more than like 6 at a time. It won't poison you. The poisonous part is on the seeds on the inside. You don't want to crush those up. For rheumatoid arthritis, and I'm not telling anybody you should do it by any means. I'm just saying um, that this is how people do it. I'm not suggesting it to anybody, just to be clear. But if you are going to take them for like rheumatoid arthritis and some other things, put them in the freezer and then swallow them like pills. Do not crush up the seeds in there because that's where the poison's at. Now you can take it, and I won't even tell you how to do it, but that's what people used as laxatives back in the day when there was no 7-Eleven that you could go to and take care of that problem. No, they are not blueberries. They're pokeberries. They got a few other names too, but do not. If you don't know what you're doing, do not eat them. All right, yo. Thanks for hanging out with me. I don't know. I kind of told somebody I'd go live this evening, but I don't really know that I'm going to. I try to keep these sunrise ones uh, mellow without as much drama. Sometimes not at all. But of course, we heard somebody talk about gay shit, so of course I gotta run my mouth about it. What else was there? Man, it's like just when you think, okay, nothing can happen like in the next couple of days because all this other bullshit happened. Like nothing else can happen. Like what could possibly happen now? And as soon as you catch yourself slipping like that, boom, something happens. Oh yeah, and here's the shed that I live in my parents' backyard. Just so you know, that's actually just the top of the elevator that goes down to my lair. Yeah, I live in a tent back here. This is my parents' backyard. You guys see any fucking tents? Or where there's been any tents? No, because I started that rumor myself, and these idiots latched onto it. I think it's hilarious. I am still spending a lot of time out here though, because they just haven't been doing good the last several months. All right, y'all. Stay naked.